This is the video review of DaiVoyager from Gogo Sentai Boukenger. I don't know if we actually had a US version of this toy. I know we didn't get the Flashpoint Megazord in the States. I think it was called the Siren Builder in Japan. I know we didn't get a DX version of that in the States. I don't remember if we got this in the States. But anyway, I got mine used on eBay for about 20 bucks, maybe $10 shipping. So mine is honestly in terrible condition. I'm missing a lot of these little guns up here. I'm missing one of the aerials, like the paint on the red one here is really shoddy. And these things need cleaned really bad. When I got this guy out to review today, I hadn't realized I had forgotten to clean this guy, so after I'm done reviewing this, I'll be spending a couple hours scrubbing him down with rubbing alcohol and a bunch of stuff like that. What I'm really dreading about that is taking apart this guy back here. But anyway, on to the figures themselves. This is the Red Rangers bit. It's a jet kind of thing, and except that this is obviously going to be the head, and mine is in terrible condition, I really like the look of this thing. It's kind of neat. There's not much more to say about it, except there's this little knob down here that you can turn that'll turn these around. And that's for a gimmick that the entire set has that I'll show off in a little bit. But anyway, this is the Red Rangers jet. I'll put it off to the side. This is the Yellow Rangers jet, and this is probably the second weakest thing of the entire set, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But it's supposed to be kind of like a jet thing, and it's got these little landing gear down here so it can roll. But yeah, it looks like it's obviously going to be a chest plate, which it is. So that one's off to the side. Here's the Blue Rangers jet, and this thing is actually pretty cool. I really like it, and the reason I gave this one the guns is because I think it looks the best with the guns, whereas some of the other ones are just kind of with guns. But this one is really cool. It's a nice little triangular spaceship, and it looks like anything you'd find in any kind of science fiction thing. So I'll put this off to the side. And this time, the Pink Ranger really won out because it got this huge, ginormous, badass-looking bulldozer thing. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be, but it looks pretty cool. One flaw this thing does have is that it does like to come apart pretty easily. That's because these bits right here are spring-loaded, so it always has some pressure pushing it apart. And on mine, at least, because I got used, the clips aren't in the best condition. Like, they're not broken or anything, but it's held in place by 1, 2, 3 clips, and then also by a little thing right here that kind of holds it. So it's, I don't know if you got a new one, if it would be better, but I know that mine's not really in great condition, and it likes to pop apart. But anyway, this is the Pink Rangers one, and I like it pretty well. And then the one I like the least is the Black Rangers tank kind of thing, because it obviously looks like it's a pair of legs, which is exactly what it is. Now, it does actually have a cool function with the rest of the guys that I really like that I'll get into in a minute, but it's just supposed to be like, here's the cockpit that makes it into a vehicle. If it didn't have this little smidgen of paint, it would look like nothing at all. And it still doesn't look like anything, so I'm very not thrilled about this thing. Even though it is quite big and hefty and heavy and has quite a bit of detail down here, it's just not a great toy. So anyway, what we're going to do first is we're going to combine all these guys together into a second vehicle mode. So first we're going to take this bit right here, I'm going to plug it into the front, and I'll use these slots right here to these connector ports over here. And this is going to go off camera a little bit. Then you're going to take this guy right here, and you're going to plug him down right here. There's some little ports right here and some pegs here and here. And it'll go down on the front like this. You're going to take this, fold it up, and let's see, I think it just goes on like this, the same way you would for the robot mode's chest. Maybe not, maybe it goes around the other way. Yeah, it goes around this way. And then what you do is you take this guy right here, and if you fold this up, you'll expose the head. You want to push it one click back, and then there's this little thing I showed you before that spins the aerials. You want to make sure that it's aligned properly with this. Actually, no, you don't need to make sure it's lined properly, because what will happen is that this thing will end up twisting until it matches that. So, but just make sure that that ends up in that hole right there, and then you just press this down here, and what you get is a gigantic, what's supposed to look like a battleship or something, like a sea ship. And it looks really awesome, and basically what happens is that when you turn the wheel, there's an internal mechanism inside of here that'll cause the aerial there to spin. And overall, I think this thing is really good. It does like to pop apart back here where the Pink Ranger hooks onto it. Again, that's probably just age on mine, because this thing is... when did Boukenger come out? Was it 2005 or 6? I mean, this thing is pretty close to 10 years old, and it wasn't in good condition when I got it. Now, I will say, though, it is pretty easy to find a mint in-sealed box version of this guy for pretty cheap, because apparently he's just not really a popular figure. Like, except that I already had the guy by the time I saw this deal. I have seen him complete go for $50 mint in sealed box before. So maybe that's changed since I got this guy last year, but if you shop around, I'm pretty sure you can find this guy pretty cheap, so you won't have all these problems. He's actually supposed to have a motorized gimmick where if you turn him upside down, if you engage the motor with this switch here, and then turn them on here, he's supposed to go forward. He uses C batteries, which really sucks. And I did end up getting a hold of some C batteries, but mine just doesn't work. I don't know why, but it doesn't. One other thing you can do with this mode, let me turn this back off, is you can take DaiVoyager, and on these little tabs right here, he can stand on it the same way that he combines with the crane and the cement mixer. So he can stand on it like this, and it's a little bit awkward to get him on, but once you get him on, he'll stay pretty well. And here you go. Here's DaiVoyager riding DaiVoyager. So anyway, let me get this guy off, and we can get to DaiVoyager's robot mode, which is pretty big. So to start this off, we'll take this off. We're just going to completely disassemble it. You're going to take this, rotate it forward so that the head shows again. Put it off to the side. We're going to take this off and just turn it around like this. We're going to take this off and this off. Then what we're going to do is we're going to split these apart like this. And they're going to attach to the side of the Pink Ranger's Zord. Like this. We're going to split this apart. And then we're going to take this section here, we're going to lift it up, and then we're going to take these and we're going to attach them to the side here, like this. And then we're going to come here, and there are little divots inside of here and here that are going to attach to this little section right here. So this will attach right there. And you can see why I kind of really should get a new one, because at least to get another aerial here. But anyway, this is the robot mode, and it really is quite big. I really like how the head is like something out of Mazinger. And for posability, this guy, the arms can rotate around 360. And one thing that will happen is that these little spring-loaded gears right here, they can engage with this right here when you bring it forward. And then what you can do is, if you have the batteries, you don't have to do it manually, but if you don't have batteries, you can just spin the wheel back here, and it'll cause his fist to spin for an attack. And yes, his fists are just the wheels of the Pink Ranger's vehicle. So anyway, that's really about all there is to this guy. He's just big. He looks pretty okay in this mode. I really like his ship mode. I think that's what really makes the set work. Because like some of the individual Zords are kind of crap, but when you get the ship mode and then this thing, which looks really good, honestly, I do say this guy's worth getting, especially if you can find him pretty cheap, which you can get him pretty cheap. For a little size comparison, here he is next to DaiVoyager, and you can see this guy really is massive. So anyway, this has been a video review of DaiVoyager. I review Transformers, Digimon, Tobots, Megazords, lots of stuff like that. If any of that sounds interesting, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.